Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Program, Minecraft, Episode 1. This is Big Stick, your flight director at Big Stick Astronautical Group. Just waiting for some engine noise to die down here to recap where we are. So in my last recording, I had established a base on the moon, which was made up of parts from the home mod. I then upgraded the game to version 0.22, which was apparently incompatible with the home mod, because when I would move into one of the ships on the moon, the base would begin flying apart and explode. So I decided to reboot the series, move on to the next part that I was going to do anyway, which is mining, but I went ahead and terminated all the flights that were using the home mod. That means that I have left behind, I have the Kerbal station, I have the Mooner station, and I have a flag on the moon. And we're going to attempt to land this mining rig near that flag and establish a new base. This is my liquid fuel miner. I've got a kethane storage tank, kethane drills, liquid fuel tanks that will be replenished after the landing. Usual utilities, solar, lights, battery, RCS. At some point I plan to have storage tanks at each of the space stations. In this case, this miner will gather liquid fuel and take it up to the station for storage at the station, where other ships can then refuel. I have a similar model that is going to be for monopropellant, and it's got an array of RCS tanks around it. Similar design, but had to be a little bit different for the way the RCS tanks build in the vehicle assembly building. One part that I'm appreciating a lot is the subassembly manager built into 0.22 now. It has made my launches a lot more stable because I have come up with this asparagus staging with the orange tanks secured with plenty of struts that has made my launching much more successful. Fewer bangs, which I realize is probably less entertaining for you, but it makes the game a lot more enjoyable for me. Go ahead and turn on my this side to front indicator. Helps me with my joystick steering. As long as I keep that side facing me, then the joystick causes the movements I expect to have happen. For those of you new to my series, you'll notice that I have steam gauges HUD up here. The reason being that landing on the moon is tricky in that you can't trust the sea level altimeter. You need a radar altimeter to tell you how far above the surface you actually are. The place where I started my base is about 3,000 meters high, so my initial attempts at landing were crashes because I thought I had 3,000 meters to work with, when in reality I had 0. Coasting now to circularization burn. Very little fuel left in the orange tanks, probably with the weight of this equipment. I'll definitely have to do it on the monopropellant version. I have another set of various staging made up of these larger gray tanks, and I'll have to use that because it looks like I'm going to have to finish this burn using these engines and tanks that I was planning to only use for getting to and land on the moon. Not sure what my fuel is going to look like by the time I go to actually land. Alright, I've got a touch of fuel left, which I will go ahead and use for the transfer orbit for switching over to smaller tanks. Rather than bore you with the details of maneuver nodes and getting over to the moon, I'll pick up when I'm on final approach. And here we are on approach to the sphere of influence change with the moon. You can see my initial home and transfer has this weird loop going on, which would probably end up crashing me right into the moon. So I'm going to do a little retrograde burn here to try to loop me out behind it. Ten seconds to go. At time warp in any case. And hopefully this will do it. Alright, we'll end it there. Warp a little bit. Get up to the change. Alright, and there we go. Now, I'll just plan a maneuver to put us into orbit. It would be great if these had a readout that you could see all the time. We're going to go with that. It's going to wing us back out again. But we'll be slowing down over here to try to land, so I'll just try it at this level. And actually, I'll worry about a plane change around to the other side. Started a little late because of the time warp. That's okay. And we'll go with that. Kill this node. Now, take a look at fuel here. We're out of half, and we've got a good bit of work to do. Let's see what happens if we start our burn here. There's our flag from previous missions. I'm going to try to come in the vicinity of it. It doesn't really matter at this point, since I'm not worried right now about establishing a base. I could really land this and the other miner anywhere I wanted to, but I'm going to stubbornly stick to the plan to make this the initial mining location, mining base. Try not to miss this one. 5 seconds. See, the plan there changed a little further, closer in than I expected, so we'll cut that off early. I'm going to try my technique of coming in over top and then killing lateral velocity and dropping in over top of the thing, give myself plenty of time to maneuver. Okay, let's check in with the craft. I'm going to get this point in retrograde. Get a shot of the scenic view here. Usually not coming in so high, or for so far away. Alright, let's warp over to our landing area. See at this point that we're a good bit off. I'm probably going to start burning here. If it'll let me add a node here, I want to get the try to get the plane change right here, not just eyeball it. Alright. Let's get pointed at the node. Shoot a little bit quicker here. 3 seconds. And alright, let's call that close enough. And check in with our ship. Let's change to surface mode here and get us pointed in the right direction. Got a lot of horizontal speed that I'm going to end up killing if I can. Right now, I'm going to try to kill some of this vertical speed. We're going really fast. We have way overshot the target. Trying at this point to kill both vertical and lateral speeds. An eye on the target here. We're coming back to it. And we are actually gaining altitude pretty hard, so I'm going to do something crazy here. Actually going to try to fly down. We are ascending. Finally falling again. See if I can try that again. Alright. We're at least heading down. Horizontal speed is picking up. And try to head back in the direction of the flag. seen anything I've done before, you know that I'm not so great at this yet. Okay, at this point I'm falling so fast, I just want this to correct. And we are just going to try to get us down on the ground in one piece. Finally got us this reading. Oh! Okay, well, I did manage get a bang out of it for you. I guess join me next time when I try to do that final landing again. Thanks for joining me.